Currently, I'm in a huge state of paranoia, just due to my past and just the things and the people I've associated myself with previously. Let's say, worst thing comes to worst, I fucking die a tragic death or some shit, and I'm not able to see out my dreams. I at least want to know that the kids perceived my message and were able to make something of themselves and able to take my message and use it and turn it into something positive and to at least have a good life.
A rapper shot and killed in Miami, now leading Cape Coral police to give protection to a local home. It's all fallout from rapper XXXTentacion being shot and killed yesterday.
Hey, what's good everybody? It's your boy Seethruthescript here, back with another video, and today I wanted to cover the life and death of one of this generation's most popular rappers that emerged from Florida and managed to build a beyond cult-like fan base. Some of you may know him as Jase Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy, but many knew him by his stage name XXXTentacion. Alright, so for those new here, I'm going to be breaking down the death of XXX using the practice of English Gematria, which is tying a letter with a number. Every time you spell out a word or a phrase, you get a numerical value, and there are 4 base ciphers. Sometimes we dip into the Jewish/Latin cipher, and we're also going to connect this to the date numerology as seen on the screen here. Just to preface, this is not a complete background story, rather a super summed up version. There are plenty of videos out there if that's what you're looking for. On January 23rd of 1998, Jase was born in Plantation, Florida to Jamaican parents. Jase had 3 siblings and was mainly raised by his grandmother Colette Jones in Pompano Beach and Lauderhill, Florida. Due to his mother's personal problems, in early 2008, when X was 10 years old, his father was jailed for 9 years in Arizona on RICO charges after the Drug Enforcement Administration organized a sting operation. His father was deported to Jamaica in late 2016. To say the least, X had a pretty tough upbringing. X dropped out of school in the 10th grade. He described himself as a misfit during that time, citing how quiet he was despite being popular and regularly involved in physical confrontations. He said that he was insecure and depressed during his time in high school. X ended up running into legal troubles for a plethora of reasons, from theft to home invasions to gun possession and many more. During his time dealing with legal troubles, he met Stokely Goldborn, better known as Ski Mask the Slump God, around 2013. They began making music together as well as putting out their own solo tracks. On June 22nd of 2015, X created his YouTube channel where he released his first video 6 days later on June 28th, which was a song that featured none other than Ski Mask the Slump God. In December of 2015, X and Ski Mask released a project titled Members Only Volume 2, which featured the original version of Look at Me. X later went to jail in 2016 for robbery and assault with a deadly weapon. After posting $10,000 bail, he continued to work on his music upon release. Fast forward to February 20th of 2017, the single Look at Me was remastered and a clean version of the single dropped through Empire Distribution. The song blew XXX up through the roof alongside his infamous mugshot displaying his half-and-half dread hairstyle. However, what seemed to give this song its newfound traction came from Canadian artist Drake performing a song on stage called KMT from his project More Life, which many believe ripped off X's flow and cadence from his track Look at Me. For those not familiar, listen to this clip real quick.
So call your manager within the next few days.
Okay.
So I'm amped up. Nigga, I fuck with Drake.
Yeah.
You feel me? Drake a genius. He was supposed to contact one of my managers. So he doesn't do it. That same fucking week, bro.
Demon just got up. I get my bro in advance. Love is just not in my plan. Not even taking a check.
I hear da-da-da-da in my den. I'm like, what the fuck?
I like bitch, you was your mess, ayy. Can't keep my dick in my pants, ayy. My bitch don't love me no more, ayy. She kick me out
like, bro. You could take his verse, like they did a mashup. They put his verse on my song, and the cadence is literally just at the same tempo.
Hey. Demon just got out of can. I gave my bro in advance. Love is just not in my plan. Not even taking a chance.
My life is you with your mess. Ay, can't keep my dick in my pants. Ay, my bitch don't love me no more. Ay, she kick me out, I'm like, bro.
Now, as you can hear, the flows definitely sound similar. This led X to sparking a beef with Drake, which really brought his name into the mainstream light. His career only began to grow immensely. He then went on to release his debut studio album titled 17 on August 25th of 2017. This featured the extremely popular track Jocelyn Flores, which only further propelled him into mainstream success. As of now, this track has over 1.5 billion streams on Spotify and over 600 million views on YouTube. Now on March 16th of 2018, X released his second studio album titled ? Which featured many popular songs, one of them being Sad. However, 94 days later, X would end up being shot and killed outside of Arriva Motorsports on June 18th of 2018. So, without further ado, let's dive into this decode. First, let's begin with the gematria of his stage name and the day he died. Notice XXXTentacion and June 18th, when written out, have a 2-for-2 match in the 4-bay ciphers. What's interesting is that he died on the 18th of June in 2018. Notice his stage name XXXTentacion equals 61, and 61 is the 18th prime number. Now, take in X's full name, Jase Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy, equals 131 in the most pure cipher. 131 is the 32nd prime number. Notice June 18 equals 32 in the most pure cipher. More numerical synchronicities surrounding the day of his death. Notice the words XXXTentacion, 18th, and the phrase Society of Jesus all equal 56. If you're unfamiliar with my channel, the Society of Jesus are often the main culprits behind these ritualistic killings of these entertainers. Now, when it comes to sacrifices, the Roman god Saturn is known to be the god of time, limitation, and death. For more on that topic, be sure to check out an older video of mine, which I'll show here. However, notice X died 511 days from his 19th birthday. In the Jewish/Latin cipher, you could see the word Saturn equals 511. If you count the span of weeks he died, it was exactly 73 weeks from his 19th birthday. Notice ritual sacrifice and sacrifice both equal 73. Now, X died in his home state of Florida. Notice Florida alongside rapper, gematria, death, murder, and killing all equal 38. And again, this is a number that is pretty much always mentioned when speaking on rappers. But to be very specific, X died in Deerfield Beach, Florida, United States, which equals 147 in the reduction cipher. Notice he died exactly 147 days from his 20th birthday. If you remember, an important person in X's life was his homie, Ski Mask, the Slump God. So that boy got a long name, so I'm gonna just call him Ski Mask. But notice from Ski Mask 22nd to X's death was a span of 8 weeks and 6 days, like the number 86. Notice the phrase human sacrifice and blood sacrifice both equal 86. X himself was known to speak on being a sacrifice many times on live streams.
We can sacrifice them. Yeah, we can. I don't want to, though. I don't do sacrifices. I just do hard work. Nice. And if I'm going to sacrifice anything, it's going to be myself.
And when you think about the number 86, oftentimes you might have heard the phrase getting 86th or being in a coffin that's 8 feet long and 6 feet deep. Now, if you count that same time span, but in a span of days, it works out to be a span of 62 days. Notice the word sacrifice alone equals 62. But not including end date, it's actually a span of 61 days. Notice XXXTentacion equals 61, as mentioned earlier. Before X's death on May 11th of 2018, Ski Mask released a mixtape 38 days from X's death. As mentioned earlier, all of these words you see on the screen equal 38. Now that mixtape came out on May 11th, which was the 131st day of the year. Notice X's full name equals 131 in the most pure cipher. Moving on, notice X was born on a date with 24 numerology, and then he died on a date with 24 numerology. Take in his first name Jase equals 24 alongside his last name Onfroy, but it's also worth mentioning X, the letter that was in his name, is the 24th letter in the alphabet. Now, if you count the weeks and days from X's 20th to his death is a span of 20 weeks and 6 days. Notice the word sacrifice equals 206 in the Latin cipher, and if you spell out 20 years old, it equals 206. Again, he died at the age of 20. Notice XXX when spelled out equals 18 in the reduction cipher. Remember, he died on the 18th of June in the year 2018. Emphasis on the 18. XXX died on a Monday. Notice Monday and triple X are a 2-for-2 match in the ordinal ciphers. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting though. X actually signed a $10 million deal with none other than Empire Distributions just before his death. Those familiar with Empire remember that they have lost a large amount of artists in the last 5 years or so. From King Von to Mo3, Young Dolph, Drakeo the Ruler, all the way down to as recent as PNB Rock, who was actually signed to them at one point. I'm sure I might have even missed some names, so you can drop them down in the comments below. Alright, so Empire Distribution was founded by a man named Ghazi Shami, and many fans accused and speculated that this man is having these artists whacked only to take out life insurance policies on them, because I'm sure y'all have heard the phrase, you're worth more dead than alive. And I want to play this clip from French Montana doing an interview with DJ Academics where he says something pretty similar to what I just mentioned. Some of you may have seen it. For those who haven't, check this out.
It was beefing for real. Like, people was like dying and this and that, and they're just like, it was blocking a lot of money. People don't want to touch you. You know what I'm saying? You know, your rap friends, somebody gets shot, your rap friends stop picking up, the label stop picking up. Nah, it gets crazy. You know what I'm saying? It gets crazy. But now it's even crazier because they getting life insurance on artists. At least back then we didn't have that.
Somebody told me that shit.
Yeah.
Is a label signing an artist in good faith if you're taking a life insurance out on him?
No, you praying on his death. You praying on making millions on his death.
Or are they being realistic though?
Both. They're being realistic, and they, you know, you're supposed to have life, you know what I'm saying, life insurance anyway. But when the label does it, if you don't have one, that's crazy.
So notice that XXXTentacion and Ghazi Shami both equal 56 in the most pure cipher. What's even more eerie is that X died on the 169th day of the year, and Ghazi Shami, his name equals 169 in the reverse ordinal cipher. For those new, notice the word death equals 20 in the most pure cipher. X died at the age of 20 years old, as mentioned earlier. Moving on, X released his debut studio album titled 17 under Empire Distribution on August 25th of 2017, which was a span of 151 days from his 20th birthday. As mentioned earlier, XXXTentacion equals 151 in the reverse ordinal cipher. He later released his second studio album titled Question Mark on March 16th of 2018, which was a span of 3 months and 3 days from his death. Like the number 33, notice Empire equals 33. This album was also released through Empire Distribution. Now, I want to dive a little bit into the whole Drake theory here, and that ended up gaining a lot of traction after X's death, mainly due to X himself stating that Drake tried to sacrifice him on this live stream with DJ Academics, which I'll show you here.
Then I would have shut up. But otherwise, it's like, you tried to sacrifice me, bro. You tried to sacrifice me. You could put that. You can put that as the caption if you want. The nigga tried to sacrifice me. Because look at it this way. I'm in jail. I had a PBL charge. I'm facing life. Now, that's what nobody realized. I was facing life. I'm facing life. Which was one of my favorite rappers. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody loved Drake, bro. Everybody loved Drake. I still respect the nigga for his music. You know what I'm saying? I just can't respect what he did to me. You feel me? Everybody loved Drake, bro.
Do you think he deliberately did it, or maybe like?
Yeah, bro. Fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah, bro. And I'm not gonna say no names, nigga. A DJ hit me up. Not only a DJ, my manager at the time hit me up. Said, yo, this nigga Drake hit us up and he wants to talk to you. He said he watched the interview. He fucks with you, bro. On God, bro. On my fucking life, bro. On my mom, bro. On my mom, fam. These niggas hit me up and said this shit, bro. Nigga, I love, bro. Nigga, all I had, bro. At a point, all I had was my mom and Ski. This was all I had. At a point, all I had was my mom and Ski. And my mom wasn't physically around. You know what I'm saying? So, on my mom, my nigga, the nigga hit me up and was like, yo, they said, this nigga Drake watched your interview. He said he fucks with you. He said he wants to talk. He wants to talk to you. And I said, word? He said, yeah.
Notice from X's murder to Drake's 32nd birthday was a span of 4 months and 6 days, like the number 46. The words sacrifice and execution both equal 46, which I found interesting. Granted, XXX was practically executed. Remember, this whole beef between them sparked because Drake supposedly stole X's flow from his breakout song, Look at Me. Now, what I almost failed to notice was that the song that kind of sparked this whole beef was KMT off Drake's More Life album, as I mentioned. KMT stands for Kiss My Teeth. And notice when you spell that out in the most pure cipher, it also equals 46. Alright, but also notice that from Drake's release of More Life, which had the song KMT, to X's death was a span of 15 months in 1 day, like the number 151. Again, as mentioned earlier, XXXTentacion equals 151. There was also mention that Drake dissed X on his feature with Travis Scott on the song Sicko Mode. At about 4 minutes and 23 seconds, I'll show you this quick clip. You could see a guy who had a very similar hairstyle to X gets crushed by a meteoroid. And I'm not going to say that this is 100% valid, but I did think it was worth mentioning considering we're talking about the Drake theory here. Now, moving on from the Drake theory though, X died while leaving Riva Motorsports in Florida while looking for a new motorcycle. Notice Riva Motorsports equals 167. 167 is the 39th prime number. Notice Onfroy, X's surname, equals 39, just like Empire, the very label that signed him just before his death. This photo was also the last photo of X before he was murdered, and he happens to be standing on a black and white checkered floor, which has close ties to Freemasonry. They never fail to have their symbolism all over these artists' deaths. Alright, so I just want to quickly touch on the 4 men charged with the killing of XXXTentacion. Upon looking at their names and doing some gematria, I didn't really find much, but what I did notice is that if you tally up their ages, it actually equals to a total of 86. And as mentioned earlier, human sacrifice and blood sacrifice both equal 86. Now there's actually footage of these 4 men running up on XXX while he was in his car leaving Riva Motorsports. And it just makes you think, were these men put up to this by someone else? Were they doing this on their own accord? Again, I'll leave that up to you guys. Now, X's estate ended up releasing a posthumous album titled Skins on December 7th of 2018, which was a span of 173 days after X's death. Notice, this syncs up perfectly with his stage name, XXXTentacion, as you can see here. December 7th also leaves 24 days in the year. Remember, Jase and Onfroy both equal 24 in the reduction ciphers. Now, I also wanted to bring up that X created his YouTube channel on June 22nd of 2015. Notice that was the 173rd day of the year. He named his channel after his stage name, XXXTentacion, which I mentioned several times now, equals 173. But the last thing I wanted to bring up regarding the death of X was that he died a span of 1,093 days after the creation of his YouTube channel. Notice 1,093 is like the number 193 using the rules of numerology and removing the 0. 193 is the 44th prime number. Notice the words execution, kill, and shooting all equal 44. It almost truly seems like it was planned from the start, but I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. Now, that's all I got on the life and death of Florida rapper XXXTentacion. Please be sure to let me know what I missed in the comments below. I really appreciate all of those who stuck around and watched the whole thing. It definitely means a lot, and RIP goes out to X. He managed to amass quite the large following before his death, so his music was clearly impactful to this generation without a doubt. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a comment, beat the hell out of that like button, share the video, and most importantly, subscribe, man. Remember, all of those things are free to do. It's your boy Script, and I'm out of here. Peace. 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 Peace.